Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel, fellow numismatists and curious collectors. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating history and current value of a coin that may be sitting unnoticed in your collection or tucked away in your pocket change, the 1984 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II Australian 5-cent coin. This humble little coin has more to it than meets the eye. We'll be exploring its origins, physical characteristics, why it was minted without a mint mark, what makes it collectible or not, how much it is really worth in 2025, and whether or not it holds any hidden treasures for coin hunters across the country and beyond. The story of the Australian 5-cent coin begins with the introduction of decimal currency in Australia on the 14th of February 1966. On that day, Australia officially transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a simpler decimal system. As part of that new system, the 5-cent coin was born, replacing the pre-decimal 6-pence coin. Interestingly, the new 5-cent coin shared the exact same size and metal composition as the 6-pence, which helped ease the transition for the Australian public. The reverse of the coin was designed by the highly regarded Australian sculptor and silversmith Stuart Devlin. It features the spiny echidna, one of Australia's unique native animals, rendered in stunning detail with its quills and snout prominently displayed. The obverse of the coin in 1984 features the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, based on the design by British sculptor Arnold Machin. This portrait, with the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, remained in use on Australian coinage from 1966 to 1984, making the 1984 coin the final year to carry this iconic design. The 1984 Australian 5-cent coin, like other years in the series, is composed of a copper-nickel alloy, with a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It has a diameter of approximately 19.41 millimeters and a mass of 2.83 grams. The coin is circular in shape with a smooth, plain edge. On the obverse, Queen Elizabeth II is shown facing right, with the words, Elizabeth II, inscribed along the left edge of the coin, and Australia 1984, inscribed on the right edge. The reverse, featuring the echidna, does not include any denomination numerals besides the bold number 5 at the center, just below the echidna's body, and the word cents underneath it. What makes this coin notable is the absence of any mint mark. Unlike coins in many other countries, Australian circulating decimal coins typically do not include mint marks unless struck by a private or overseas mint or created for collector purposes. The 1984 5-cent coin was struck at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra and, like most standard issues, carries no mint mark. However, it is still commonly referred to by collectors as a no mint mark coin simply to distinguish it from special issues or coins produced overseas in later years. In 1984, the Royal Australian Mint produced a substantial number of 5-cent coins for circulation. The mintage for this year was approximately 43.5 million coins. Additionally, an estimated 150,000 coins were struck to a higher uncirculated standard for inclusion in mint and proof sets intended for collectors. This large mintage means the 1984 5-cent coin is generally regarded as common in terms of availability. These coins were released into general circulation and saw heavy use in everyday transactions throughout the 1980s, 1990s, and even into the early 2000s. As a result, many examples found today exhibit significant signs of wear, making high-grade uncirculated pieces more desirable among collectors. Despite its high production numbers, the coin holds a unique place in Australian numismatic history because it represents the end of an era. It was the final year to feature the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. In 1985, a new effigy of the Queen by Raphael Maklauf replaced the previous one. This makes the 1984 issue historically significant as a transitional piece, particularly for portrait collectors, given its large mintage, the 1984 5-cent coin is not considered rare by traditional definitions. It is widely available in circulated condition and commonly found in bulk coin lots, jars of old change, and inherited coin collections. However, rarity in the coin world is not just about how many were made, but how many high-quality specimens have survived. While worn examples are abundant, coins in mint state condition, especially those that have been well preserved in mint sets or stored carefully away from environmental damage, are increasingly sought after by collectors who specialize in decimal coinage. Coins that grade above mint state 60, especially those with full luster, sharp strike, and no bag marks or handling wear, are becoming more difficult to locate, which in turn is gradually pushing up demand and value in certain collector markets. Collectors also value the 1984 coin for its role in completing year sets, especially those focused on the early decades of Australia's decimal coinage. The absence of a mint mark makes this coin aesthetically clean and appealing to purists, while its historical context provides an added layer of interest. Circulated examples in average condition typically hold only nominal value above their face value. Most are worth between 5 and 15 cents when sold in bulk or included in mixed lots. However, these coins are often purchased more for fun or nostalgia than investment. Uncirculated specimens, on the other hand, can command higher prices. Coins in near mint condition, exhibiting full original mint luster, sharp detail, and no evidence of handling, typically sell for anywhere from $1 to $4 Australian dollars. Coins that have been professionally graded by third-party services and assigned a mint state grade of 65 or higher may be worth $5 to $10 or more, particularly if they display exceptional eye appeal. Collector demand has remained steady but modest, and prices have experienced a slight upward trend in recent years due to increased interest in decimal-era coins and the gradual attrition of pristine examples in the market. Proof-quality coins and those still sealed in official Royal Australian Mint packaging may bring a small premium due to their presentation and provenance. While it is not a coin that will make you instantly wealthy, finding a high-grade 1984 5-cent coin in an old coin jar or inherited collection can certainly offer a small and satisfying payday for sharp-eyed collectors. If it shows heavy wear, scratches, or discoloration, it's likely only worth a few cents, although it may still be of sentimental or historical interest. If, however, you find a coin in brilliant uncirculated condition with no signs of damage, it may be worth holding onto or even having it evaluated by a coin dealer. The 1984 issue represents the closing chapter of one portrait era and the continuation of Australia's proud decimal coinage tradition. As such, it holds a special place in the story of modern Australian currency. Lastly, while this coin may not be rare in the conventional sense, it is a worthy piece for collectors who appreciate history, enjoy hunting through coins, or are looking to build a complete year set of Australian decimal coins. The 1997 Australian 5-cent piece featuring Queen Elizabeth II, with no mint mark. At first glance, it may look like just another everyday coin. But when you dig deeper, you'll discover a fascinating story of Australian coinage history, subtle rarity, and an evolving market value that still captures the attention of collectors in 2025. To understand the significance of the 1997 5-cent coin, we need to take a brief step back in time to 1966. This was the year when Australia transitioned from the imperial system of pounds, shillings, and pence to the decimal currency system we know today. As part of this transformation, the sixpence, a small silver coin, was replaced by the 5-cent coin. Interestingly, both coins were the same size and weight, easing the transition for the public. Over time, however, the 5-cent coin would take on its own identity. The coin we focus on today, minted in 1997, features the same basic design that had been in place for decades. It carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, which, in that year, was still the third effigy of Her Majesty used on Australian coinage. On the reverse side is the unmistakable echidna, a monotreme native to Australia, which has become an iconic image representing the 5-cent denomination. What's unique about the 1997 issue is that it lacks a mint mark. But that's not due to an error or a rare oversight, it's because all circulating 5-cent coins that year were produced by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, which traditionally does not include a mint mark on regular circulation coins. This has led to some confusion among collectors, especially those more familiar with coins from countries where mint marks play a significant role in identifying origin and rarity. On the obverse side, the coin displays a right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, as sculpted by Raphael Maclauff. This portrait was first introduced in 1985 and remained in use on Australian coins through to 1998. The Queen wears the George IV state diadem, and her name, Elizabeth II Australia 1997, encircles the outer edge. The reverse features a highly detailed image of an echidna curled around its spiky body. This beloved design was created by Stuart Devlin, the official goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen. The echidna's claws, spines, and even its snout are carefully rendered, making it one of the most intricate and enduring designs in Australian currency. The coin is struck in copper nickel, with a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It has a diameter of 19.41 mm, a thickness of 1.30 mm, and weighs exactly 2.83 grams. Its edge is plain, and like all Australian coinage, it is legal tender, although the real question is whether you'd want to spend it once you know its potential value. The 1997 5-cent coin had a large mintage, over 100 million pieces were produced for circulation. This makes it one of the higher mintage years for the denomination. On the surface, this suggests the coin is common. And in truth, for circulated coins in worn condition, it is. In addition to the circulating strikes, the Royal Australian Mint also produced a limited number of coins in uncirculated and proof quality. These were sold in mint sets and collector packs, often preserved in pristine condition. These versions are much rarer than the standard coins that entered circulation, and they command significantly higher prices in today's collector market. Further adding to their appeal is the absence of mint marks. While this may seem ordinary, for some collectors, especially those outside Australia, coins without a mint mark can be mistaken for rare varieties or errors, sparking a surge in demand. Moreover, as years pass, finding a 1997 5-cent coin in uncirculated or even high-grade circulated condition becomes increasingly difficult. These coins have been in pockets, purses, drawers, and cash registers for nearly 3 decades, and most have acquired the scratches, discoloration, and wear that comes with everyday use. Circulated coins in average condition are generally worth face value, 5 cents, or slightly more. Some collectors may pay 10 to 20 cents for a decent example, but these are not considered rare in worn condition. Coins in extremely fine condition, with minimal signs of wear, may fetch anywhere from 50 cents to $1, depending on the buyer, the platform, and the demand at the time. Uncirculated coins, especially those taken from mint sets and preserved in original condition, can range from $1 to $3 or more. These are more desirable, particularly among collectors trying to complete full-year sets. Proof coins, which were struck with a mirror-like finish and intended for collectors, can command even higher prices. A well-preserved proof coin from 1997 may be valued between $5 and $10 or more, depending on condition and packaging. However, it's important to note that these values can vary depending on current trends in the collector market, coin auctions, and the growing interest in nostalgic or historic coinage from the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, especially since her passing. The answer lies in perspective. While it may not make headlines for being a 6-figure numismatic treasure, the coin represents something much larger, a period in history, a long-standing monarch, a stable currency system, and a design that has endured through decades of change. It's also a symbol of value hiding in plain sight. Every now and then, stories surface of collectors discovering rare errors, misstrikes, or exceptionally well-preserved examples of seemingly ordinary coins, and those can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For that reason alone, every collector, novice or experienced, should take a second look at the coins they encounter. You never know what piece of history you might be holding. So, the 1997 Australian 5-cent coin may not be a unicorn in the world of numismatics, but it has its place in every serious collection. Whether you're collecting by year, by monarch, or simply appreciate the artistry and craftsmanship of circulating coins, this humble piece is well worth your attention. As we move further into the 21st century, coins bearing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II will inevitably become historical artifacts of a bygone era, and their value, both sentimental and monetary, will only grow with time. If you've got a stash of old coins at home, now might be the perfect time to dust them off, take a closer look, and see what stories they have to tell. The 1998 Australian 5-cent coin. A coin that, on the surface, may seem incredibly common. But with a rich history, an unmistakable design, and evolving interest from collectors, it proves that even everyday currency can hold value, if you know what to look for. The Australian 5-cent coin was introduced in 1966, marking the country's transition to decimal currency. By 1998, Australia was over 3 decades into the decimal system, and the 5-cent coin had become a fundamental part of daily life. Despite being the smallest coin in circulation in terms of value, it carried significant importance in commerce and culture. The 1998 issue of the 5-cent coin bears the third effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by British sculptor Raphael Maklauf. This design was in use on Australian coinage from 1985 to 1998 and depicts the Queen wearing the royal diadem, facing to the right. The effigy itself symbolizes continuity, tradition, and the constitutional monarchy that Australia maintains under the British Crown. On the reverse side, we see one of Australia's most iconic and curious native animals, the echidna. The design by Stuart Devlin is instantly recognizable. With its spiny body and distinctive face, the echidna is depicted curled up, nestled within the contours of the circular coin. It's more than just a design, it's a tribute to Australia's unique fauna, reflecting the national identity in its smallest denomination. The 1998 Australian 5-cent coin was produced by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra. Unlike coins from some other countries, Australian circulation coins typically do not carry a mint mark when struck at the Royal Australian Mint. This is standard practice, and thus the absence of a mint mark does not immediately indicate rarity. However, it's worth noting that in specific years, Australian coins were also struck at other mints, such as the Perth Mint or even international mints, like those in Canada or the UK. In such cases, coins may carry unique characteristics, including subtle differences in metal composition or strike quality. But for 1998, the vast majority were minted in Canberra, and none of the regular circulation 5-cent coins featured a mint mark, hence the term "no mint mark" is accurate, though not unique to this year. Still, among collectors and sellers alike, the term "no mint mark" has become a point of discussion. This is particularly true when a coin in otherwise ordinary condition stands out due to a variety of minting errors, unusual die strikes, or preservation quality. In raw mintage terms, this coin is anything but rare. Tens of millions were struck and released into circulation. This makes it a very common coin to find in pocket change, even today. For the average person, it may seem like nothing more than a coin to round off small purchases. But for collectors, context is everything. Rarity in coin collecting is not defined solely by how many coins were minted. It also depends on how many have survived in high-grade condition, how many are available to collectors today, and whether there are any error variants that are scarce. For example, coins that were stored immediately after minting and never circulated, those in mint state condition, are significantly fewer than circulated examples. Furthermore, as we approach 3 decades since this coin's release, the number of pristine, uncirculated coins naturally diminishes. Environmental wear, surface damage, and oxidation affect coins over time, making high-grade examples increasingly scarce with each passing year. For circulated 1998 5-cent coins, the market value remains close to face value. Typically, a circulated example may be worth 5 to 10 cents to a casual buyer, depending on condition and demand. However, if the coin is in exceptional uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used, shows no signs of wear, and retains its original mint luster, it may fetch between $1 and $2 in private sales or numismatic markets. Higher grade specimens that have been professionally graded and encapsulated, such as those graded MS 64 or above, may sell for more, ranging from $3 to $10, depending on the buyer, the venue, and the timing. The rarest and most valuable examples are those that contain minting errors. These can include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or planchet composition errors. Such coins, when authenticated, can command significant premiums, sometimes fetching upwards of $50 to several $100, depending on the severity and rarity of the error. It's important to remember that coin values are not fixed. They fluctuate based on collector demand, market trends, and auction results. So while the 1998 5-cent coin may not be a high-value treasure today, its appeal may grow as future collectors seek to complete series or find top-grade examples of older circulation coins. First, inspect the overall condition. A coin with no scratches, wear, or tarnish is far more valuable than one that's been circulating for decades. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to examine the finer details of the design, especially the echidna's spines and the queen's hair. Second, check for abnormalities. Minting errors can sometimes be very subtle: a slightly rotated die, a missing detail, or doubling of letters. These variations, though rare, can dramatically affect the coin's value. Lastly, consider professional grading if you believe your coin is of exceptional quality. Third-party grading agencies can certify the grade and authenticity of your coin, which increases buyer confidence and marketability. The 1998 Australian 5-cent coin may not carry a story of royal commemorations, rare compositions, or famous errors, but it holds its own as a time capsule of Australian numismatics. It stands as a piece of living history, passing from hand to hand, decade after decade. And while it may never make headlines, it serves as a reminder that every coin has a story, and every collection begins with a single piece of pocket change. So the next time you reach into your wallet, pay attention to what might be slipping through your fingers. Because in the world of coin collecting, even the most unassuming coin can be worth far more than it seems. The 1999 No Mint Mark Australian 5-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II. Although at first glance it might appear as just another small denomination coin, this piece holds a fascinating story in terms of its design, production, rarity, and its standing in today's coin market in 2025. The 5-cent coin has been an integral part of Australia's decimal currency system since its introduction in 1966. By 1999, the coin had undergone several changes in portraiture and subtle design adjustments. The version we focus on today showcases the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait presents the Queen wearing the iconic Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, symbolizing the continuity and dignity of the British monarchy. This particular portrait was first introduced in 1998 and was used on Australian coins until 2019, making the 1999 coin one of the earlier examples bearing this design. On the reverse side, the design features the echidna, a uniquely Australian native mammal known for its spiny exterior. The echidna has graced the reverse of the 5-cent coin since decimalization, and in 1999 it is depicted in a curled-up pose, highlighting its natural defensive behavior. This design was created by Stuart Devlin, who was Australia's official coin designer from 1965 to 1980, and whose work remains iconic and instantly recognizable. The coin itself is made from a copper-nickel alloy, consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It weighs 2.83 grams and measures 19.41 millimeters in diameter, featuring a reeded edge. These specifications have remained consistent for the 5-cent coin for decades, ensuring durability and a standard feel in the hand. In 1999, the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra was the sole producer of the standard circulating 5-cent coins bearing the No Mint Mark designation. Unlike some other countries that add mint marks to signify the production location, Australian circulating coins from this period typically do not carry a mint mark, with the exception of those produced overseas or special issues. The total mintage for the 1999 No Mint Mark 5-cent coin was approximately 179.5 million pieces. This high volume reflects the coin's fundamental role in everyday Australian transactions and the consistent demand for small denomination coins at the time. Alongside these circulating coins, the Royal Australian Mint also produced uncirculated mint sets in limited quantities, which included a pristine 1999 5-cent coin. These mint sets are popular among collectors who seek coins in perfect condition, untouched by circulation where, despite the enormous number of coins produced, the 1999 5-cent coin is not regarded as rare in the conventional sense. It is considered a common coin in both circulation and collector markets. Its abundance ensures that most collectors and the general public can easily acquire one without difficulty. When it comes to rarity, the 1999 No Mint Mark 5-cent coin falls firmly into the common category. Millions were minted and released into circulation, and they remain readily available through pocket change, coin rolls, and collections. However, rarity in coins is not determined solely by mintage numbers. Condition plays a vital role in determining the collectability and value of any coin. A 1999 5-cent coin that has been circulated extensively will display wear and tear, reducing its appeal to collectors. Conversely, an uncirculated example, one that has never been used in commerce and remains in mint condition, commands a higher degree of interest among numismatists. While there are no widely recognized or documented minting errors or rare varieties for this specific coin year and type, collectors always keep a watchful eye for anomalies such as double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws. Such mint errors, if found, can significantly enhance a coin's rarity and value. For the standard 1999 No Mint Mark 5-cent coin, however, no notable errors have been reported that would alter its general classification as a common coin. So, what does the 1999 No Mint Mark Australian 5-cent coin command in today's market? The short answer is that its value remains modest due to its mass production and widespread availability. Where the coin exhibits signs of everyday use such as scratches, dullness, and edge wear, the coin typically holds a value close to its face value, sometimes slightly above depending on the buyer. Many collectors or dealers will offer just a few cents above face value, reflecting its status as a common circulating coin. Uncirculated coins or those preserved in mint sets retain a higher value, reflecting their flawless condition. Prices in the collector market for these pristine coins typically range up to about $1 or slightly less, depending on demand and the specific marketplace. The value can fluctuate somewhat based on factors like collector interest, economic conditions, and changes in metal prices, although the copper-nickel composition of the coin holds minimal intrinsic value relative to its numismatic value. The coin's worth is primarily derived from its collectability and condition rather than its metal content. It is important to understand that, unlike rare or error coins which can command thousands of dollars, the 1999 no-mint Mark 5-cent coin is not considered a high-value investment piece. Instead, it holds more significance as a historical and cultural artifact, representing a period in Australian numismatics and the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The 1999 no-mint Mark 5-cent coin stands as a testament to the enduring stability of Australia's decimal currency system. As the smallest coin in everyday transactions, it has played a vital role in the nation's economy and daily life. Featuring the Ian Rank Broadley portrait of the Queen, the coin connects the currency to the wider Commonwealth and the monarchy, bridging Australia's historical ties with the United Kingdom while celebrating a unique Australian symbol on the reverse. For collectors, this coin serves as an accessible entry point into Australian coin collecting. It represents the intersection of history, design, and everyday practicality. While it may not be rare or extraordinarily valuable, its significance lies in its role as a piece of the national heritage, a small but steady reminder of the coinage that has facilitated countless transactions across the continent. First, examine the coin's condition carefully. Uncirculated or near-mint condition coins are much more desirable than those with heavy wear. Look for sharp details in the Queen's portrait, clear reading on the edges, and a well-defined echidna on the reverse. Second, be aware that errors and varieties, though rare for this coin, can significantly increase value. Inspect your coins for any anomalies such as doubled images, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet characteristics. If you believe you have found a rare variety, consider having it professionally graded and authenticated. Third, consider how you want to acquire or sell the coin. Coin shops, online auction sites, and numismatic shows are common venues. Keep in mind that the coin's value remains close to face value unless it is in exceptional condition. Finally, appreciate this coin for what it represents: a snapshot of Australian monetary history from the late 20th century, a symbol of national identity through its native echidna, and a tribute to the long-standing reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The 1999 no-mint Mark Australian 5-cent coin is not a rare numismatic treasure, but it remains a valuable part of Australia's coinage story. With its rich symbolism, solid design, and extensive circulation, it continues to be an accessible and meaningful collectible for novices and seasoned collectors alike. Whether you stumbled upon this coin in your pocket, inherited it, or actively seek it for your collection, understanding its history, production, and value helps deepen your appreciation for this modest yet significant piece of Australian currency. The 2000 no-mint Mark 5-cent coin, its origins, production, rarity, and the value it holds in 2025. The Australian 5-cent coin has been a staple of the country's currency system since its introduction in 1966, coinciding with Australia's transition to decimal currency. Designed to replace the sixpence from the pre-decimal era, the 5-cent coin quickly became the smallest denomination in everyday circulation, especially after the withdrawal of the 1 and 2 cent coins in the early 1990s. The coin's significance lies not only in its utility but also in its symbolic representation of Australian wildlife and its connection to the monarchy. The year 2000 marked the turn of the millennium and was a notable year for the Royal Australian Mint, which produced coins that continue to reflect Australia's heritage and modern identity. The 5-cent coin from this year, however, carries an interesting characteristic: the absence of a mint mark. The obverse of the 2005-cent coin features the iconic effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, which was the fourth definitive portrait to appear on Australian coinage. This portrayal, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, depicts the Queen in a dignified and realistic manner, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Her profile faces right, and the inscription surrounding her includes the formal title, Elizabeth II Australia 2000. Notably, this coin does not have a mint mark, which is often used to indicate the mint facility responsible for its production. The reverse side carries one of the most beloved and recognizable Australian motifs, the echidna, a spiny monotreme native to the country. This design was created by Stuart Devlin, Australia's official goldsmith and designer of coinage, whose work has appeared on numerous Australian coins. The echidna is depicted curled in a compact, spiny ball, a fitting symbol of Australia's unique wildlife and natural heritage. The coin itself is made of a durable copper-nickel alloy, measuring approximately 19.41 mm in diameter, and weighing 2.83 grams. Its modest size and metallic composition make it highly practical for everyday use.in terms of production. The 2005-cent coin is one of the most commonly minted Australian coins. The Royal Australian Mint produced approximately 97 million of these coins for general circulation during that year, making it far from rare in terms of sheer quantity. The absence of a mint mark indicates that these coins were produced in Canberra, where the main Australian mint facility is located. Despite this high mintage figure, the coin remains an important piece for collectors due to its place in the millennium year and the subtle design differences it possesses compared to earlier or later issues. The lack of a mint mark itself adds a slight nuance for collectors who seek variations and minting anomalies. When it comes to rarity, the 2000 no mint mark 5-cent coin is generally considered common, due to its large production run and widespread circulation. Most examples can be found easily in everyday change throughout Australia, and they do not typically command high prices on the collector market. However, rarity in numismatics is not always about how many coins were minted. It is also about condition, errors, and special issues. For the 2005-cent coin, most of the value for collectors lies in coins that are preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition or those with minting errors. Coins that remain in mint condition, such as those found in official mint sets or carefully stored by collectors since their release, can command a premium price point. One of the most exciting aspects of any coin collection involves identifying minting errors or anomalies. Though the 2000 no mint mark 5-cent coin is not widely known for prolific errors, there are some rare variations that have surfaced in the marketplace and have caught the attention of numismatists. Errors such as slight misstrikes, double strikes, or planchet defects can occur during the minting process. Additionally, off-center strikes and die cracks, although not commonly found in this particular coin, are possible and could greatly increase the coin's value depending on severity and uniqueness. Collectors who specialize in Australian coin errors actively seek out any 2005-cent coins that deviate from the standard, as these anomalies tend to be much rarer and thus more valuable. Condition is paramount when evaluating the worth of any coin. The 2000 no mint mark 5-cent coin typically falls into a range of conditions depending on its circulation history. Coins that have been in regular use generally show signs of wear such as surface scratches, dulled relief, and loss of luster. Collectors use grading systems that assess coins on a scale ranging from poor to mint state. Circulated coins generally fall into the good to very fine range, with values close to face value or slightly above. Conversely, coins graded as uncirculated or mint state, which retain full original luster and sharp design details, are much more desirable and can command several dollars or more depending on the market. In 2025, the Australian coin market has matured, and even small denomination coins like the 2005-cent piece have gained increased collector interest. This is especially true in the higher grades where the coin's historical significance and condition make it a sought-after item. Circulated condition. Most coins in circulated condition are worth their face value or slightly above, generally around 5 cents to 10 cents in Australian currency. These are plentiful and thus do not command a premium. Uncirculated and mint condition. Coins that have never been used, especially those from official mint sets or preserved by collectors, typically sell in the range of 7 to 10 Australian dollars. This premium reflects the desirability of coins that maintain original mint luster and detail, error coins and rare variants. Although rare, if you possess a coin exhibiting minting errors such as a misstrike, double strike, or off-center strike, its value could increase dramatically. Some error coins have been known to sell for hundreds of dollars, even reaching into the low thousands in exceptional cases. Bulk and investment value. For investors or bulk collectors, the 2005-cent coin offers limited value beyond its face price unless you hold large quantities or pristine examples. You might wonder why one should bother collecting a coin that appears common and has a low nominal value. The answer lies in the appreciation of history, design, and the subtle nuances that make each coin unique. The 2000 No Mint Mark 5-cent coin symbolizes an era in Australia's monetary history and connects collectors to the turn of the millennium. Furthermore, collecting this coin opens the door to a broader understanding of minting practices, coin grading, and the fascinating world of numismatic errors. It is a gateway piece that can spark further interest in Australian coins, their evolution, and the stories they tell about the nation. The 2000 No Mint Mark Queen Elizabeth Australian 5-cent coin is a modest yet historically significant piece. Its widespread mintage ensures it remains a common coin, but its design and era make it a worthy collectible, especially in uncirculated or error conditions. In 2025, while most examples carry minimal monetary value, select pieces have the potential to fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars under the right circumstances. For anyone holding one of these coins today, the key takeaway is to examine its condition carefully, look out for any unusual features, and consider having it professionally graded if you believe it may be a rare variant. Coins that stand out from the norm often hold the greatest surprises and rewards in the numismatic world. The 2001 Australian 5-cent coin, specifically the version without a mint mark featuring Queen Elizabeth II. We'll explore its historical background, design features, production details, rarity factors, and the fascinating market value trends it commands in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about coins, stick around for an extensive journey into the story of this small but significant piece of currency. The Australian 5-cent coin has been a staple in the country's currency system since the decimalisation of currency in 1966. It is among the smallest denominations, both in size and value, but holds immense interest for collectors due to its longevity and the subtle changes it has undergone throughout the decades. The 2001 edition of the 5-cent coin continues the tradition of featuring Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, symbolizing Australia's constitutional monarchy. This particular coin showcases the fourth portrait of the Queen, crafted by the artist Ian Rank Broadley. His rendition is notable for its realism and respectful portrayal, capturing the Queen in her mid-70s, lending a modern yet regal aesthetic to the coin. On the reverse side, the coin bears the design of the iconic echidna, a small, spiny monotreme native to Australia. This image has been a consistent element on the 5-cent coin since its inception, reflecting the country's unique fauna and natural heritage. The 2001 5-cent coin was struck primarily at the Royal Australian Mint located in Canberra. Interestingly, the version we are discussing today is distinguished by its lack of a mint mark, which means it was part of the regular circulation release, rather than a special or limited edition. The 2001 Australian 5-cent coin is composed of copper-nickel alloy, a durable metal blend of copper and nickel, ensuring both longevity and resistance to wear and corrosion. The coin weighs approximately 2.83 grams and measures 19.41 millimeters in diameter, making it compact yet substantial enough for everyday handling. The edge of the coin is reeded, featuring fine grooves that enhance grip and help deter counterfeiting. The obverse portrait of Queen Elizabeth II is inscribed with the words, Elizabeth II Australia, alongside the year, 2001, emphasizing the country of origin and minting date. On the reverse, the echidna is depicted in a dynamic pose, crawling across a textured ground. The numeral 5 is prominently displayed, indicating the coin's face value, accompanied by the word cents below it. The design is subtle yet detailed, capturing the essence of Australia's wildlife in a simple yet elegant manner. The 2001 no-mint Mark 5-cent coin was produced in large quantities for general circulation, making it one of the more common coins from that year. The Royal Australian Mint struck millions of these coins to meet everyday transactional needs across the country. Despite its high mintage, the 2001 coin holds particular interest due to the existence of several minting variations and error coins, which have become prized among collectors. While the base coin is abundant, these rarer versions can be elusive and command significantly higher prices in the market. Most collectors focus on the standard 2001 5-cent coins, but the truly fascinating pieces are the error varieties and mint set versions. Of particular note is the so-called flamingo error. This name derives from a distinctive die crack that appears on the reverse side, originating near the numeral 5 and extending in such a way that, when viewed upside down, it resembles the shape of a flamingo bird. This error is not a mass-production defect but rather a limited occurrence, making coins bearing this anomaly considerably rarer than their standard counterparts. Error coins often attract premium prices due to their uniqueness and the story behind their creation, die cracks being the result of imperfections or stress in the minting dies during production. Additionally, the 2001 5-cent coin was included in special mint sets and proof sets that were released in limited numbers. These versions are distinguished by their superior finish and higher quality, aimed primarily at collectors rather than circulation. Coins from these sets often carry no mint mark either, but their pristine condition and limited availability make them valuable. As of 2025, the 2001 no-mint mark Australian 5-cent coin is generally regarded as a common circulation coin, with modest intrinsic value. Most specimens in average circulated condition are worth slightly above face value, often selling for a few cents to around $1 depending on condition. However, coins in exceptionally fine or uncirculated condition command higher prices. A well-preserved example from general circulation can fetch a few dollars, while mint set and proof coins can reach upwards of $20 or more. The true standout in value, however, lies with the error coins. The flamingo variety has seen a surge in collector interest and price appreciation over recent years. In uncirculated or near-perfect condition, these error coins have been known to sell for more than $100, highlighting their rarity and desirability. Collectors today seek out these error coins not only for their monetary value but also for the intrigue and uniqueness they bring to any collection. The presence of a die crack or other minting error offers a tangible connection to the production process and the imperfections that make each coin unique. Section 6. Factors affecting value. Several key factors influence the value of the 2001 no-mint mark 5-cent coin. Like all coins, condition or grade dramatically affects value. Coins that retain their original luster, with minimal wear and no damage, are worth significantly more than heavily circulated pieces. Rarity of variant. Error coins such as the flamingo variety are scarce, driving up demand and value. Provenance. Coins from official mint sets or with verified grading tend to attract higher prices. Market demand. Collector interest fluctuates over time. Currently, there is healthy demand for Australian coins from the early 2000s, helping to support prices. 4. Collectors and casual enthusiasts alike. Distinguishing a genuine 2001 no-mint mark 5-cent coin involves careful observation. Confirm the absence of any mint mark on the coin's surface. Examine the Queen Elizabeth II effigy on the obverse for the characteristic details unique to the Ian Rank Broadley portrait, the shape of the crown, the positioning of the hair, and the inscription layout. Inspect the reverse for the echidna design. Looking for sharpness and detail, check for the flamingo die crack. If searching for error coins, this appears as a visible line near the numeral 5. For those interested in adding the 2001 no-mint mark Australian 5-cent coin to their collection, here are some valuable tips. Start by obtaining a variety of circulated coins to understand the standard look and feel. Gradually seek out higher grade specimens or coins from mint sets to build a premium collection. Keep an eye out for error coins. These are often found in circulated lots but require a trained eye to identify. Consider professional grading services if you believe you have an error or uncirculated specimen, as certification can enhance value. Stay informed about market trends and recent sales to gauge realistic pricing. The 2001 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II Australian 5-cent coin might seem like a small, everyday piece of change, but it carries a rich story within its metallic surface. From its carefully crafted design and historic significance to its surprising rarity in error forms, this coin exemplifies how even the most humble denominations can captivate the numismatic world. Whether you own one, are thinking about collecting Australian coins, or simply enjoy the fascinating history behind currency, the 2001 Australian 5-cent coin is definitely worth your attention. Thank you for joining me on this detailed exploration. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts or any experiences you have with Australian coins. Until next time, happy collecting and may your coin journeys be rewarding.